So it's starting to make more sense now. I'm under the dash and I got one of the harnesses, and from what I've been reading on the instruction sheet, which is really limited if you ask me, but everything runs, a lot of it runs through the light switch. I'm going to hook up the light switch now, which I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to replace because to me it looks like the rheostat's broken. So I'm going to hook up all those wires that go to it according to the diagram, see what's left over, and it's starting to make more sense now. Hey, welcome to Mark's Garage. This is Missy the Wonder Dog. So as I'm wiring this, I noticed that spring on the rheostat hanging up there. So that means the dimmer light, you twist that and then it dims the dash lights, probably the dome light at the same time. But that's broken. So I ordered a new switch from, where did I get it? LMC truck. I don't know if it's the right one. They had 3 or 4 different ones. I ordered the least expensive one, but that'll be here in a week or so. But I'm going to keep moving forward on this just to know where the wires go. Took a little break from doing the electrical work. I started to paint the, this is not paint, this is bed liner. So I wanted to do the floor and bed liner just up to here. As I was coming across here, I forgot I never welded in. This is the foot pedal, and this is the foot pedal bracket. They both gotta get welded in. So I'm gonna have to touch up the firewall on the other side too, but it's gotta get done. And we'll get on to that. Well, that didn't work out well, but instead of welding, since the welder didn't seem to want to strike an arc, I decided to undercoat the floor there with some bed liner. I think it looks pretty good. It's a nice contrast against the brown color that I have on the dash and on the firewall higher. And I'm just going to keep putting the dash together and trying to get the wiring done and hopefully get this cab back onto the frame soon. There's the frame in the background. Hey, good morning. Working on my gauges this morning. These are the original gauges that came with my truck. You can see the speedometer's completely illegible. Can't even read the odometer. Don't know how many miles was on the truck when it stopped. The numbers just came right off. This is the other gauges. Again, who knows what kind of shape they're in, they work or not. So I went out and bought a set of used gauges. I think I did okay for the price. The guy told me, he did a few things. Looks like he modified the back a little bit. Not too concerned. If it works, I'm happy. If it looks good, I'm happy. Looks like he changed the numbers on the inside. Maybe changed the whole inside. I don't know. But this is what I find the most interesting. I was going to hook this up as I'm doing my wiring. That's why I'm doing the wiring in the truck, and at the point I got to hook it up. This is the temperature gauge, and it uses this capillary, and to replace that gauge with the capillary is about $75. So I said, let me go look at my old gauge and see what's going on. The old one is an electrical temperature gauge, and that might be the gas gauge, but the electrical one, or the temperature gauge on this truck, is electrical. So I'm wondering if I can pull that temperature gauge out, check it, get it to work. If it works, just replace it in here. They both go, where is it? 0 to 100, whatever. We'll figure it out. I'm going to take it apart and see what happens. Well, even though I couldn't get the gauge to work, I was able to get it back together, which tells me when this one comes in, the replacement, I'll be able to replace this one and put it back together. So I just ordered it from LMC, 75 bucks for that sucker. Should be here in a couple weeks, and then I'll go from there. So I'm on hold till then, I guess. Hey, welcome back. A lot going on. I've started a lot of things and haven't finished much at all. The wiring started. I have a really good understanding of where everything goes now, but I'm waiting on some new switches, and I'm waiting on a new gauge to go into the gauge cluster. And I've also sent the vacuum wiper motor out to get rebuilt to a guy on Long Island. I'll mention him later when it comes in. I'll show you the install. I've got the floor undercoated with like bed liner product. I think it looks terrific. I started taking the masking tape and off from when I painted the interior. And I think what I want to do today, as long as I have time and nothing else to do, there's some rubber that goes underneath here. I bought it from LMC. I've had it for a while, and I'm going to try to install that today and get that done. It's just one more thing that has to get done. So as I reassemble the dash, one of the things I had to put in, that's a vacuum operated windshield wiper motor. I sent that out to a guy on Long Island, New York, Rob Ficken, and he rebuilds those. That's his business. And I'll tell you, I sent it out. It didn't look like that. Came back looking like new, and it works like new. I hooked it up to the vacuum cleaner, and man, it just runs fine. So shout out to Rob. Okay, I'm under the dash. Interesting dilemma here. I don't even know if I could see this or you could see this. But there's the gauge. The tab to hold the gauge in, I got two of them in. One of them doesn't line up. This must be a different year housing. So I was going to change the housings and take my old one apart. My old one lines up perfectly. But I figured I'll just make some new tabs to put that in. And now it's becoming clear, you know, where all the wires are going and what's connected. And I'm glad I've got this cab off and I'm sitting in the transmission well with my head under the dash. I don't think I could do this laying on my back. So onward and upward. Well, there's the big reveal. Got the cab wired. Mocked up all the buttons and switches and gauges. What do you think of that? Still need a cigarette lighter. And the choke and the throttle knobs are still underway. And I think that came out pretty darn good. Time to get this cab back on the frame. Final thing I want to show you is the firewall before I install it. So the wiring's just about done. It didn't come out like I wanted it to. It looks neat, but these connectors are wrong. I'll cut in what the right connectors are going to look like because the cover just won't fit. And I got a lot of respect for my friend Chad in Louisiana, who's a telecom worker, who probably is laughing at my work right now and knows he can do 100% better. And I'm going to try to make that better. But I got the voltage regulator connected. It looks beautiful because I painted it, but God knows if it works or not. There's the pass-through for the choke, still has to go through there, and I think the throttle cable, manual throttle, goes through there as well. So that's not 100% done. But I just want to wrap this up and say thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and I appreciate all of you.